Good morning and welcome to Unity RGB online service. I am here recording from Marisa's brand new house. She just got a new house, moved in about 3-4 days ago, whatever it was. So she said, well, let's go do it over there. I said, that's fine, we can do that. So I want to start with our announcements. As usual, they are our classes we're having, and as I think I've mentioned before, we've got collaboration going on in the Let's Get Metaphysical Tuesday nights at 7. We've got people from other Unity centers actually joining us now. Then on Thursdays, we have the ARE group, which is led by Cindy Schindel, at 6:30. And at 8 o'clock, there is a collaborative meditation from all the different centers. What else have we got? As of today, you know that we moved the service to 11 o'clock. What else have we got with these? We're going to add a new element to the service today. It's a variation of the meet and greet. So I'm going to ask you all to send little 2-minute clips, and we're going to use some of them today. If yours doesn't get used today, don't worry, we're going to use it. So take the time to send a little 2-minute clip and let us know how you're coping with this craziness that's going on. Whatever you want to talk about, your dog, your cat, doesn't matter, whatever. Anyway, so that's our announcements. So let's begin today in prayer. I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath and just relax and enter into a heart space. And in that heart space area, I want you to envision a world that is healed, and a world that is one, and a world that is not back to the normal, because we don't ever want to go back, but one that has a whole new normal, better than the normal we ever had before. So in that spirit of moving forward, we begin today's service. I'd like to start with invocation, which is shared at all Unity services around the world. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent.
This is how we cope with the change we're all going through. Oops. We sit outside, listen to the wind, watch the solar lights, choose peace and love and lots of light. We love the light. Stay close to nature.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free. As I continue walking in this mystery, I surrender to my greatest, highest good. I release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose take a higher path each day. And now I know what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I surrender to my greatest, highest good. I release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am kinder every moment, every day. I'm more loving every moment, every day. I surrender every moment, every day. I surrender every moment, every day. Yes, I surrender every moment of every day. Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. Ask me where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lives at my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me. As me, for where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. And where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me. As me, oh, oh, do-do-do. Oh, hey, yeah. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and feel, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go. God is.
Faith Rivera, wherever I am, God is. Beautiful. This is Ben Dowling, Miles Joseph, Joy, Jukes, ERG, Idris Hester on percussion. Wherever I am, God is.
Good morning, this is Lynn, and the best way I have found to deal with the pandemic is by working in my yard. It's just wonderful to be outside, to feel the breeze and see the sun and the birds that come into my yard and the squirrels and of course the flowers. So I thought I would give you a real quick tour of my yard and you can see how much I enjoy working in it. Okay, so here we are. This is my front yard. I have all kinds of plants. Some of them I've gotten for free, some of them I've bought, some of them just grow. I've had really good luck with begonias. So I have some in my window. I've got all these things that just kind of popped up. I have some Ixora, which have not done brilliantly well, but it's not bad. I have some nice crotons, which I think give a lot of nice color to the yard. Here's a little plant, which I really like with the little flowers. And I have a bird bath. I love the birds, and we get lots of birds in our yard. I've got all kinds of other plants that are going around here, which we can look at. I have the world's biggest mesquite tree in my yard. It goes up and up and up and up and up. Usually they don't get this big. I'm not really sure why it did. I put a whole bunch of stuff in here because I just kind of got a bunch of stuff I put in one time, and I kind of like how it looks. And you know, we can continue here. This actually has beautiful blue flowers. Right now it's not blooming. Now, one of the things I really wanted to point out are the Mexican petunias. So I'm going to walk by the side of my house. These things are crazy. I don't even know what they are. When I was teaching at Brown, my first teaching job many years ago, a friend of mine gave me like 7 half-dead little Mexican petunias. Here they are. They have beautiful purple flowers. I kind of stuck them in the ground over here, and I want you just to get a load of how many Mexican petunias I now have. These things will just go crazy. So look at them. I mean, they're just gorgeous. If you ever want anybody, if anybody wants some, I will be happy to dig some up and give them to you. Stick them in the ground. You can't believe what will happen. Okay, moving along to the backyard now. I've got more Mexican petunias, of course. I have a nice hibiscus, which I like. I like these plain red ones. I've got some bird of paradise, and of course, more Mexican petunias. More bird of paradise. More bird of paradise. And these things are called coral creepers, and they are also unbelievable. It gets too much shade right here, so it's not blooming, but it has beautiful little coral flowers. And I've got some more crotons, more Mexican petunias. This is a variegated ginger. I like that one too. And in my backyard, I've got a lot of potted plants. I've gotten many of these from Nina. And of course, I've got bird baths. Altogether, we have 3 bird baths, 2 feeders, and this is my yard, and I really enjoy it. And I would recommend that you get out in your yard and work in it too. You'll find it's very relaxing. Listen to the birds, and it's just lovely. Namaste.
Share with me now Unity's RGB's affirmation and vision. Unity RGB is an expanding center of the Christ light, mighty to attract its good and radiate good to others. Centered in God, we express our inherent in our indwelling Christ.
As we start this time of inner reflection, let's begin by getting comfortable. Remove all objects from your lap, place your feet on the floor, and sit up comfortably in your chair. Relax the muscles in your face, shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. Feel your hips, legs, feet, and toes relax as well. Release any areas of tension you feel in your body. take a deep, centering breath. Slowly inhale, gently hold for a few seconds, and then exhale. Repeat a few times. Focus on your inhalation and exhalation as you continue to relax your body. Gently breathe in and out. Just relax and breathe naturally. You now feel the increased sense of relaxation to your body with every breath. Feel calmness and peace wash over you. Now let's center our attention to the daily word for today, which is togetherness. Our Bible verse is from Acts 2:44. All who believed were together and had all things in common. Today's affirmation is, I share God's love, peace, and joy. Let's say that together once. I share God's love, peace, and joy. Our message reads, while I treasure my times of quiet and solitude, I also look forward to enjoying the company of family, friends, and members of my faith community. Whether we're working, volunteering, praying, or simply enjoying one another's company, our shared experiences allow me to support people I care about and feel supported in return. I enjoy and value togetherness throughout every season of my human journey. During times of trials, hardship, or grief, being in the company of friends and family helps comfort me and keep me strong. Likewise, during times of celebration, being in the company of others multiplies my joy. In times of togetherness, may the love, peace, comfort, and joy of God bless us all. Now let's close our eyes and take these words and this affirmation into the silence.
Down in my soul, I love the silence. Down in my soul, I love the silence. Down in my soul. Got a new day down in my soul. I've got a new day down in my soul. I've got a new day down in my soul, and the whole wide world is my home.
Here's a shout out to Unity RGV Spiritual Center of the Valley. I miss everybody there. I'm sending light and love your way. This is how we're spending our COVID isolation. This is a beautiful meditation garden, and I hope that in the future, in the near future, we're going to have a meditation garden centered around the beautiful tree that we have. We miss everybody. We love you. Take care. God bless. Stay safe.
Today's lesson is worship in a storm. When I started my LUT journey, I told you that you all would have the benefit of learning the material that I was learning, but without the task of having to take the exams, write the papers, do all that kind of stuff. And because I was going to share the classes as I was learning them, and I've been doing that in the past. So today's lesson is a continuation of that. One of the final things for me to do in my ordination path is to write a series of 9 credo papers. The 5th one, which I just finished, is called Worship, Consciousness, and Skills, thus the topic. The first 4 papers seemed rather natural to me, theologically, because they were about God, man, the relationship, things like that I'm kind of familiar with. But this 5th one kind of threw me for a loop. If you are familiar with Unity theology, you probably understand why. In fact, when I told a friend who is familiar with our views that my topic for this week was worship, her reaction was, worship? Strange for you to use that word. And I said, I know, which is why I was stuck writing the paper for so long. In fact, when I first saw the topic, I thought, a credo paper on worship? Call me befuddled, but 2 apparent contradictions here for me. First, Unity doesn't do credos. Second, what does worship have to do with Unity theology? For anyone not from Unity, that question it does sound ridiculous. What do you mean? Don't worship and God go hand in hand? Aren't churches called houses of worship? Well, I know, it should be simple. But in the traditional sense, I don't see Unity as a house of worship. The idea of coming to Unity service on Sunday morning for the purpose of worshiping doesn't really come into my mind, and probably not into yours either. And why? Because I don't see the idea of a God who needs worship. It makes no sense to me. So the task at hand then became, how do I reconcile the idea of the word worship with Unity theology? I went to the dictionary just to be clear on what the definition is, and this is what it says. Number 1, to honor or show reverence for a divine being or supernatural power. 2, to regard with great or extravagant respect, honor, or devotion. So the first definition is clearly externally oriented toward something and completely out of sync with Unity theology. The second definition leaves some wiggle room for interpretation, but it really isn't much better either. So in hope of trying to get a better grasp of the connection between Unity and worship, I went to the Unity Ministry Spiritual Institute list of classes required for a Master's of Divinity, and I did not find a single class with the word worship as part of the title. Being a licensed Unity teacher, I also know there is no worship class in that path either. So just to cover my bases, I went to Unity Metaphysics book and again found nothing about worship. At this point, I am both befuddled and bewildered. Why am I being asked to write a credo paper about worship if it is not in any of our classes, not in our teachings, not in the material? The only thing I could come up with was that, well, maybe what I'm supposed to do is find my interpretation of what worship is. After all, we do teach that life is a personal journey and ultimately must be a personal experience. I'll come back to that in just a bit. Right now, we're in the midst of a global pandemic, and we have not been able to gather together for more than 4 months now. Now, if there's any one image that comes to my mind about the idea or the word of worship, it is basically coming together to worship. Getting together has not been possible lately, and the idea of worship of any form has taken a radical change of direction for everyone. The impact of that change has made the importance of the live Sunday service experience very clear to everyone. All of us who looked forward to that experience and fellowship of Sunday morning, we miss it. We miss it a whole lot. Now, fortunately, we are living in a time when technology has allowed us to continue to offer Sunday service through live streaming. We have received many kind words of gratitude for the effort we have made to offer service in this manner. However, it's not the same as being there in person. We are social beings, and interaction is part of our nature as humans. So to repeat, the topic of the paper is ministry as a worship consciousness and skills. There are two things there, worship consciousness and skills. So let me talk about skills for a bit, then I'll get back to the worship part of it, see if I can reconcile this. For me, the Sunday morning service has always been about sharing the experience of the service. The skills part of it is about how we are able to maximize that experience through love, fellowship, music, meditation, inspiration, words, good lesson, etc. Doing this online has been a challenge. For one thing, our attention span is different, but we have continued to try to find ways to keep things moving and semi-interesting. The process has continued to evolve. I started alone with Marisa, and then we brought in guest speakers. Then we started using congregants for daily word meditation, and the last couple of weeks, we used guest musicians. Today, we started doing something a little bit different. We started doing some kind of a modified version of meet and greet by having anyone who wants to send in like a 2-minute clip, video clip, and sharing how you are coping with this madness. And we're going to add it to our service. And you probably saw part of it already. As for the skills, I think we've done well with that. Of course, in great part thanks to Marisa and Omar, who have been the production team and the musicians during this time. There is one final element of skills. We have created a bigger picture of our Unity experience by way of collaborating with various other Unity centers. Currently, there are 6, and they are San Angelo, Bernie, San Antonio, Corpus, Brownsville, and us. Now, I'd like to see more RGV people involved, but that is your choice. All I can do is offer you the opportunity. It's a personal journey, as I said, and it's a personal decision as well. This new collaboration is why I changed the service to 11 o'clock today. Because Unity Brownsville has their service at 10, and they're usually done by 10:45. My hope, my intention is to have more interaction between the two centers. They are, after all, our sister church. I want to invite Unity RGV people to watch the Brownsville service at 10 and then come and watch ours. And I want to invite the Brownsville people to do the same thing, to watch theirs and then come and watch ours. Again, that is, all I can do is offer the option. Whether people do it or not, well, I don't have any control over that. From a broader perspective, we have also integrated with the various Unity centers for meditation on Thursday nights. And my Let's Get Metaphysical class on Tuesdays has started to be attended by people from the different centers. So there's a lot of it that's really coming out of this as far as skills, worship skills, gathering skills that would not have had occurred were it not in the situation that we are in. So let me get back to reconciling worship with Unity theology. I finally came to the conclusion that the only way to reconcile worship and unity would be to find a different way to define what worship is. Now, since I had already exhausted the dictionary and the Unity classes and the metaphysics book, I turned my attention to one last source, Papa Charlie and the Revealing Word. For those not familiar with either Papa Charlie or the Revealing Word, let me tell you what it is. Charles Fillmore is the co-founder of Unity Movement and was quite the clever guy who came up with a really excellent way, different way to interpret the Christian model. The Revealing Word is essentially a dictionary of metaphysical interpretation of words, which is really just means the spiritual interpretation of words. So the revealing word says this about worship. When one worships, she bestows his love, her love, or identifies himself, herself, with the things of spirit. Worship represents the efforts of man to sustain the right mental attitude toward God. So there's a lot of old language there, yeah, and a little bit of a suggestion towards something. But given the historical time frame, that's understandable. And now I started feeling like, okay, well, maybe I'm getting somewhere with this worship idea. Then I turned to the root of the word and found this. It says the etymology of worship, which dates back to the 13th century, Old English W-O-R, war, comes from the word worth, and ship means to shape. So simply put, worship means to shape worth. In worship, people come together to affirm, ordain, and revere what they believe to be worthy. I said, okay, now I'm starting to get somewhere. So putting the two views together, I came up with a new understanding of what worship is. Worship is about the time that we spend together, again, identifying with things of the Spirit, and thus affirm, ordain, and revere Spirit. In short, it is the time we spend in oneness, both as individuals as well as in groups. Worship is an old term which really means alignment, aligning ourselves or turning into the divine energy that permeates the universe and all of us. At this point, I finally felt relieved that I had found a definition of worship I felt comfortable with, which is in line also with the unity theology. Again, it is about aligning ourselves, spending that time in alignment with Spirit, kind of going down the river instead of up the river. You know, it gets a lot further, but you do a lot more moving, and you can relax and enjoy the scenery that way. So as we move forward through this challenging time, we continue to find new and better ways to accomplish this goal of aligning ourselves with Spirit. In summary, ministry as a worship consciousness all comes down to one simple idea. It is about all coming together, spending time together in whatever way we can to share our oneness in spirit and support each other in the spirit of love. I look forward to our return to our in-person services someday. But for the meantime, we will continue to allow Spirit to guide us towards new and more revealing experiences. And so it is. Have a wonderful week. Thus comes a time in our service where we offer our tithes and our offerings. And to remind you, we have PayPal and Venmo and Cash App. And we also have, of course, P.O. Box 1661 in FAR 78577. So we take our tithes in our hands, and together we say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Everything I see, everything I do is blessed by your hand, God. I'll give it back to you. Everything I give, every thought that's true is magnified in kind, God. I'll give it back to you.
Once again, thank you for joining us this week in our Unity RGV online service. Next week, we have a special guest speaker, which we've had before, our friend Birdie Shocker from San Antonio. And she's going to be talking about dreams. So if you're interested in dreams, you might be interested in that. And she's actually considering putting together a dream class online, which would be interesting. So once again, thank you very much for being here. Now I'm going to share the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Have a good week.